Good morning, America, and good morning, whomever, wherever you are on this big rock. This is Dr. Cherry from the Arid Zone with another very educational video and newsletter that you must read because there is so much information in that article that you're going to really enjoy it. Now, first of all, why do I wear this FBI hat? I get this all the time. Because I'm trying to make a statement here. I am the first human cosmic cop teaching you to respect God, universal design, and to understand that God created the stars and the heavens for more than the sake of beauty or for NASA scientists to send the shuttle or to send little robot on Mars. All right, the title of this newsletter is Perseverance Successfully Lands on Mars. But believe me, in a million years, man never, ever will land on Mars. All right. Now, like you, believe me, I truly love science and I am blown away each time I see the technological progress our scientific community, including NASA, has accomplished so far. And like you, I am enjoying the incredible first pictures of Mars surfaces. But unlike the majority of you who blindly trust science, I am fully aware of human's limit. All right, now, the fact is, and I repeat myself, no human will ever set foot on Mars. Don't be fooled, okay? Let alone live on the dead planet. And it is just common sense if you realize the humongous distance between Earth and Mars at this closest place. Now, Perseverance has traveled 293 million miles to reach Mars over the course of over 6 months, okay? And he was launched on July the 30th. And one has to be born a real deceived Neptunian to believe again man will ever be able to cover such distance in 6 months and survive the trip. Now, the newsletter is loaded with interesting pictures and live links. One of them is the true spirit of Mars, and the S is nothing else than the $sign. Okay. Now, for NASA and our scientific community, and there is plenty of those guys who have a lot of money, in fact, too much money, okay, to make gullible people believe that one day man will walk on Mars surface is the biggest deception ever promoted on Earth by those who deny God, ridicule astrology, the spirit, including the reality of UFO and extraterrestrials. Man, how a magnet will attract a piece of wood. Those people are so logical, so rational. Their UCI is so earthy. How in a million years can these people attract UFOs or what I went through so many times with ETs? It's just impossible. It's plain logic. Now, those educated idiots are the essence of the reptilious extraterrestrial, okay? The future reptilius. Was those guys are slowly turning into AI robots, deprived of any spiritual values, lost in the vast eternal universe in dark matter, and being part of the rationale, being part of criticism, being part of the darkness where there is no room for the spirit or the thought. And what is sad, none of those smart people has a single clue of my cosmic teaching. And even if they did, their UCI or their unique celestial identity, their stars, are not advanced enough to tab in the spiritual values of my work or the archetypal realm of supra-cosmic consciousness. We are all different. so very different. We are all connected to our family member again genetically. We may even look like them 150%. However, your very close family member will be your what's the word I could use? Your biggest strangers, put it this way, because they were not born under the same stars. And that's why there is war in the very nucleus of families, because they're all so different. And instead of educating themselves and raising their cosmic consciousness, they're stuck into religion or science. All right. Now, all of those people, you need to keep that in mind, and all those corporations have in mind. It's like any religion, it's grabbing as many people as possible, okay? Because they need your financial support, okay, to survive in this universal deceptive masquerade. You know, those guys like you, they have bills to pay, mortgage to pay, insurance to pay, college education for their children to deal with, and they must do or say anything to stay in power to survive. Pretty much like, you know, Cruz explanation for Cancun trip that made everything worse. You need to understand what people will do to keep in power. You need to understand what very, very well organized, very wealthy corporation will do to stay in power. That's why we have over 750 different religions in the Vatican. They're all corporation. They are there to use, to abuse you, to make sure you realize that all they said is real. It's all written in the Bible. No, Google Dr. Therese Pope Francis. You're going to see a hell of a lot of pictures of the dragon and the stars in the Vatican. In their 75 miles of secret library, there is so much information about astrology, and you will see the Pope being taught astrology by the Vatican Council and all the Pope being thrown under the sign of Leo. They do not want you to know. Why? Because knowledge is power. Ignorance is evil. But who are those people? What is Nazareth? Where they came from? What is this cancer? Let me bring you back to the 50s, 40s, when we first detonated a nuclear device in Nevada. You know, the government had to pay those scientists to battle against Nazi Germany and the Japanese. So that's where the negative, nasty, reptilian stimulated the mind of all those scientists to create the most devastating bomb ever created by humans. Remember, the reptilians stimulate your mind to kill, to be depressed, to create things that kills, nasty, and people cannot help themselves. They have to be negative. You don't have to look far for extraterrestrial, then you hear it. And then you have the other side, the benevolent draconis, okay, that will stimulate scientists to create technology like we just did, all those scientists did, so that we could visit Mars, okay? Technology that gets your heart beating, that stop an infection, that fix your teeth, your eyes. Remember, positive, negative, up and down, black and white, the front, the back, cut the all the yin and yang, everything is split. The good and the bad ET, the good and the bad human being. Understand, those ETs are in your head already. You were born with them. Now, those guys were paid a lot of money by the government. They built those bombs that killed hundreds of thousands of people in Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Okay. By the way, Japan is an Aquarius country. Aquarius was the southern release of energy, earthquake, explosion, tornado, nukes. And this is the only country in the world that has experienced the first nuke exchange. Japan, Aquarius, southern release of energy. That's why they have so many earthquakes and tsunami. Japan. They even look like ET, these people. They're different. So what I'm trying to say, after the war, all these scientists who worked in the 40s and the 50s for the government, well, they had kids. And those kids grew up in that environment. Remember, if your parents are famous, they are singers or they are actors, well, chances are you'll be a very famous singer or a very famous actor. The environment, okay, that's how it is. Okay, it's who you know. So if your dad and your mom are famous, chances are you will be famous. Look at Trump. His dad was a billionaire. Look what happened. Understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, so in many ways, those people thought, they think, we're better, we're smarter than all these ridiculous idiots out there. We're scientists. So let's create NASA. You know what? And then we are going to build more robots. We're going to build more technology that's going to help us to uncover our local solar system and pass the solar system into the universe with the telescope, the Hubble telescope that gives us marvelous, marvelous pictures. Now, don't think I hate science. I absolutely love science, like you do, my friend. I love those pictures. I love to see marvelous pictures. What I don't like is that they are not telling you the truth. Okay? That's what I don't like. The truth is, we will go everywhere because the ingenuity of humans are limitless, right? But we will go with technology. We will go with little robots. So when they make you believe that one day you go there, that's not right. That's not good. You have to look at the facts, my friend. Okay? How far did humans go? I don't think man will ever pass the orbit of the moon, to tell you the truth. Okay? Trillions, billions, quadrillions of dollars, many of them blowing up in space because those people have too much money and too much time in their hand and they think they are better than us. Okay? We've been 200 miles above the earth since then. And we're going to go everywhere with technology. That's the beauty. That's what I believe. In no way, ever, none of these people will be able to put a man on Mars. Your kids will never go on Mars. Suddenly, our kids are raised into religion and they are raised into science and they become atheists. They don't even know. They are radicalized. Not just by religion, but also by science. And they become stupid atheists where they think science is God. Now, there is so much more as far as humans are concerned and the stars. What's the point? Okay, we enjoy all these pictures, so NASA is doing a great entertainment to us. But are they going to talk about what happened in Dallas, Texas, with all this nasty, nasty weather and all this shortage and all this blowout? My friend, listen. In 2 or 3 of my X video, I spoke about Mercury retrograde. I've explained to you that this little planet, 3 times a year, we go backwards. Okay? And this planet will screw up everything. Will bring tremendous weather that idiots, okay, logical, rational, young soul would think is the weather. It's winter. What do you expect? It freezes everything. It happened in the summer also. If you keep an eye 3 times a year, Mercury is going to go retrograde, not only in the winter. Okay, so there is a tremendous amount of information that I write for you for free to make you understand what a Mercury retrograde is all about. And for years, I have passed on those information, not only to my students, but to thousands of people who have been reading my work. Okay, so this is how it goes. There will be 3 major negative, I call them supernova window in 2021. Each destructive window is operational for, and I give the dates. Thus, caution is strongly advised during this period. Chain reaction accident. How many chain reactions we have had so far? Oh, it's the winter. It's the winter, Dr. Terry. What do you expect? Ice on the road. It happened in the summer too. Pay attention. People and affairs of the past will come back to make the news again. Be prepared for delays, strike, cancellation, miscommunication, nature's destructive power, and awful weather, including hurricane, volcano, eruption, tornado, etc., and large earthquakes. The concentration of negative celestial energy is approaching. Be extremely prudent while driving and expect chain reaction accident. Be prepared for delay, cancellation, miscommunication. Again, nature destructive power, awful weather, including hurricane, volcano eruption, tornado, earthquake, etc. I repeat myself so you understand it, my friend. Let me tell you a story. Okay. The beauty of being cosmic conscious is that not only you're going to save a hell of a lot of time, but also a lot of money, a lot of frustration, and in some cases, your life. You know, Terena and I, we got married in Las Vegas back in April 2010, and I invited my family to my wedding. Okay, and I told them specifically to book their plane on the way to the US and to fly only during a set of dates I gave them over the phone. Now listen to this. When they arrived in Phoenix in Arizona, one of the biggest and most destructive volcanic eruption took place in Iceland. The day after they arrived in the US, while millions of very upset passengers were stuck in airports all over the world for weeks, my family escaped and enjoyed their trip to the max. Okay. Then a month later, when everything returned normal, they flew back home safely. And that is the beauty of using the stars appropriately and wisely. Again, could NASA, educated idiots, offer you this type of wisdom or any form of safety? No. All you will get from NASA is great entertainment and great accomplishment as far as technological advance is concerned, but it's not going to help your life. Understand that it helps them only to have a job, to build robots because they think they're better than us. And they are the children of the children of the children of people who build those nukes. And they don't want to do anything else. Why should they? They're smarter than us, yes. Now you have all of those information in the newsletter, which you must read, because you may not learn by listening to me because you're not audible, you're visual, which means you learn much more by reading. So ultimately, God created the stars and the heavens again for more than the sake of beauty. He gave them to us for interpretation so that we may live a safer, more productive life. This is what Paracelsus says. He didn't make the stars for NASA, educated you to build robots and make you believe one day you're going to live on a dead planet. No, be smart. Remember, that's why you come here, to hear the undiluted truth that you will not hear anywhere else, particularly on coast to coast. All right. So remember, Mercury retrograde produced the shuttle explosion where 7 astronauts died. And I did all that I could on that day, trying to reach them to stop them. Of course, got nowhere. But the little secretary that said, Dr. Jury, you know, they're not going to hear you. They're going to laugh at you. And they did. Okay. Meantime, I was right. 7 people died when everything blew up in the sky. You heard of the Titanic? Okay. The Titanic went down during the same nasty cosmic wind during a supernova or Mercury retrograde. There is no communication. There is no hearing. It's just the way it is. The planet goes backwards. You say something, they don't hear you. The mind is not progressive. It's not further. But in this case, we are still into the Mercury retrograde. That makes you much more spiritual, much more receptive to my spiritual information. There is a reason for God 3 times a year to get Mercury to go backwards. All right. Now, there is so much more that you need to understand, my friend. Okay. It's so very critical for you to read that newsletter. So during our Mercury retrograde, double check all your appointments if you can. Postpone sports event, traveling and flying during the supernova window. Life doesn't stop, don't get me wrong, okay? Life doesn't stop, and that's why people die, okay? That's how it is. You're in hell. You're not going to go to hell. This is it. You make one mistake and you're gone. It's a miracle, in fact, every single day that we survive. Every single day is a miracle that we're alive, okay? Now, communication and electricity will be cut off. Miscommunication and misunderstanding will become obvious. General loss of power is to be expected, okay? Like the millions of people who have lost power in Texas. Appliance, computers, telephone, television, plane, train, car, buses, all these tools will be negatively affected by this cosmic energy. That's why you're going to try to go somewhere and you're not going to be able to get there. Maybe there is construction. Maybe there is an accident that stuck you on the road for hours and you're going berserk, okay? Or maybe the people are not there. It's just the way it is. There is a deep purpose behind Mercury retrograde. And I told you before, it's like a train that goes that way. Okay. And then God say, hey, driver, slow down, then stop, put it in reverse, because a lot of people were too busy in their life to pay attention to Dr. Cherry or to anything else. So he put the train in reverse and then you can jump in because you just missed the train or the boat. That's what Mercury is all about, forcing you to reevaluate. Now, everything will be stopped in a way or another one. People you haven't seen no talk for a long time will re-enter your life. Expect trouble with the post office, education, student strike, prisoner escape, newspaper, radio, television, broadcasting industry, and computer virus may bother us again. And this is when Rush Limbaugh, the top of the top talking head, conservative talking head, died when Mercury was retrograde. In fact, later on, I'm going to do his stars. Okay, and I'm going to explain Rush Limbaugh's stars. So pay attention and stay in. Okay. Now, many failed mission and expensive electronic equipment like the Mars probe, etc., and our tax dollars have been wasted because of the scientists' lack of knowledge of the stars. As usual, NASA, which is not aware of the art of science of astrology, will waste their time and our tax money with failed mission due to bad weather or electronic malfunction. In the name of ignorance, a few years ago, again, the Challenger explosion, we experienced all that. I already mentioned that. Now, marine life, sharks, whales, etc., may also beach themselves due to Mercury retrograde, affecting their natural inborn GPS or their natural navigation system. All these malevolent predictions and waste of life and equipment do not have to occur. Those predictions do not have to affect you directly as they unfold. Instead, they are printed to prepare you for setback and frustration, thus advising you to be patient and prudent during this heavy, disturbing cosmic trend. Excuse me. Again, there is so much for you to read. I don't want to read everything that I wrote, okay? But you know what? I was on George Norrie many years ago when I predicted tropical cyclone Palin on George Norrie. That's the summer. I told you. There's so many things that you do not know about the stars. And that's why you're here, to learn, to grow, to understand how God speaks to us through the stars. Now, Mercury, to represent communication and transportation, the ancient carved guy, which has wings on his heels, okay? The Lord of communication, the Lord of transportation. Mercury rules Gemini. This is why you have guys like George Norrie, Gemini, Art Bell, Gemini, all the Trump, Gemini, okay? So there is so much for you to know. So if you plan to go some places and you're not aware of Mercury retrograde motions and you're taking a trip on the other side of the world, well, you're going to end up like those people who suffer the Icelandic volcanic explosion. That's why you should join the Cosmic Code, because we give you the dates all throughout the year. We also give you this SOS to the world deadly window. And when they combine together, oh my gosh, are you playing Russian roulette? Oh my gosh. And if that line up with your own personal negative window, you're a goner. Bye-bye. Remember, knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. Let's talk about Rush Limbaugh. That's going to be interesting for many of you who are followers of Rush. So, yeah, and I'm going to put, I am going to put his charts right here on the screen. So you should be able to see it. Now, Rush Limbaugh is a Capricorn. What is Capricorn? Capricorn is a goat. He climbs the mountain. It takes many years and he gets to the top. Okay. And he's recognized in society for his accomplishment. Remember, Capricorn rules politics. Okay. Politics. It rules people who have reached the power, politicians, attorney, doctors, the Illuminati, the king, the queen, the privileged select, the rich, all of those people, excuse me, who made it at the top. Capricorn is also known as the sign who use and abuse. Okay? When you are at the top, you do what the hell you want. You make sure we pay a hell of tax, but they don't pay taxes. That's why Capricorn was chosen by Christians to represent the head of the devil, the head of evil. So those people do what the hell they want when they are at the top, because they forgot how hard it is to climb to the top. So Capricorn is an engineer of building and structure, okay? Rash was born with Mercury. You see, my mouse is moving. The mantle process, the messengers of the God in Capricorn. So he was set by God to get right to the top, and he did. The sun in Capricorn means the soul's purpose is to work really, really hard and establish a name for himself and build a pyramid of success. That's what Capricorn is all about. Now, if you want to know more about Capricorn and all the people born into the sign of Capricorn, and there is a hell of a lot of politicians, okay, then, go to drthierry.com and click on Capricorn. Capricorn rules England, the snob, the rich, classical music, engineering, structure, politics. Capricorn. Now look, this is a second house, second house of money and self-esteem. Here he becomes an Aquarius with Venus and Mars. Okay, Aquarius was anything to do with technology, the best technology possible. Okay, so this is basically where Rash involved in his own right, in his own way, and then were blessed by the corporation who give him the technology to build his self-esteem and to build his finance. Now look at the mind. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the house controlled by Gemini, by Mercury. He's got the head of the dragon in the 3rd house, like Dr. Terry. So he was born a leader of the mind, and he's on the field. Okay, he had the moon in Pisces. Remember, Pisces is the symbol chosen by Christianity. Okay, you have the good fish, Einstein, Michelangelo, George Washington, Dr. Terry. We're swimming towards God. We're swimming towards the cosmic code. Then you have the negative fish, Joel Osteen, Osama bin Laden, Rush Limbaugh, religious fanatics, those who drinks, those who have a natural addiction to chemical religion, moon in Pisces. Okay, Jupiter, the Lord of Light, the biggest planet in our solar system, the best planet you can get, is in his dragon's head and in his 3rd house. And Jupiter can only help you if you do things in a huge, big way. Okay, and if you swim upstream. But Rash, all his life, all he did is to delegate with his tail. You see the tail of the dragon? Virgo, which means Rush Limbaugh was a female in his past life. Virgo is highly critical, detail-oriented. Virgo is the Virgin Mary. That's why he called a lady once upon a time a slut. And he got away with it because he's Mr. Rush Limbaugh. He was Mr. Rush Limbaugh. Remember, Pisces rules addiction. That's why he couldn't stop smoking, okay? This is critical. Now look at his health, the 6th house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th house of work and health is into the sign of Gemini. Gemini was your lungs, your hands, your voice, your words, and he's got the black moon, Cancer. My friends, you have so much to learn. Rush Limbaugh was extraordinarily critical, detail-oriented, fussy, picky, and religious and conservative. He's all set by his stars. His Saturn, which is the career builder, is dignified in his 10th house of career. Saturn runs the 10th house, all in the sign of Libra, which is the law, learning the law. And all that Rush did all his life is to learn the laws of man. Politics, religion, the Bible. No one was there to teach Rush Limbaugh the laws of the divine or astropsychology. My friends, you have so much to learn. And look at the 7th house. This is the public. When you get up in the morning, the first person you see is your husband or your wife. And then you go to the public, okay? The 7th house, your public. And then look, it has the planet of Uranus, which is the ruler of Aquarius, which is technology, which is television, which is originality, which is the genius of the zodiac. In fact, this planet regulate my entire life. It was UFO, it was astrology, it was New Age, it was technology on the positive side. Remember, every single sign and every single planet are both positive and negative, and you've got no clue of your UCI, and you expect to live a normal or safe, productive life. No, you will never, unless you build cosmic consciousness and understand the specific laws that control your life. All right, now you can see the house of death is run by Leo, okay? And that means fame. Leo rules France and Italy. Again, this is why we say French are romantic. It affects our language. France and Italy are nation of lovers and artists. Mais vous êtes gentille, madame. Ma che passa, ma bella, mi amore, che ti amo, okay? You understand how romantic and loving Leo is. Leo rules fame. During the day, every planet shines away, only the sun shines. This is why Rush Limbaugh in death got fame. It is also the house of corporated money coming from television, the public, okay? And Pluto, the most powerful, the tiniest, the farthest planet you can get, is on this 8th house, which means supreme wealth, or 400 million contract a year to be on the radio. My gosh, my good friends, you got so much to learn, and here I am every single day, trying to guide you, trying to help you to realize what it means to be human. Well, lately I did a lot of reading, 2-3 reading a day, because I have to catch up. I have about 200 readings ahead of me to do. That's why on my birthday, on the 26th, okay, all my prices are going to be $700. You can still order for $350 if you want to, but you better be ready to wait a month. Okay, that's what it is. Order, forget about it. Okay, if you don't want to pay the $700. Now, this is what this lady said. Dr. Cherry, thank you so much for the video and audio file. It was a wonderful reading and it blew my mind. I really appreciate that you have made time for me during this week. I cannot thank you enough. Everything that you provide makes me stay positive and give me hope. Your reading, YouTube, Universal Talisman, Positive Cosmic Bio, the Master Cartography, books, video, newsletter. Yes, she got all that. And then she is a translator in Japan, and she wants to bring me to Japan to teach, and she wants to translate. I got Jupiter in Aquarius. Aquarius rules, obviously, Asia. So she said also, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to my talisman. So I made her a talisman. This is what it looks like, okay? A talisman is designed for, that's the back of the talisman and that's the front. Again, I'm not a jewelry designer, okay? But what is in this talisman is the energy that is captivated for that person after discussing what she needs. I knew the type of energy that she needs to get even more successful or healthy or find love or God knows what. That's the beauty of talismans. So if you look at the last video and the last newsletter that I wrote, there is absolutely no denying the drama, the trauma that we went through with this nasty SOS to the world for the second. Okay, so actually, I don't think it was on the second. I can't remember exactly the date of my last newsletter release, but it's called Trump Impeachment, President Biden Stars and Fate of the US of the World. In that one, in that videos, in that newsletter, I talk about a lot of interesting things. So if you need to learn a few things, pay attention. But the last one was for the 18th, yesterday, the terrible SOS to the world, the Plutonic. And the news are very, very obvious. As you know, all my window depict the high possibility of earthquake on the 18th. Okay, that was yesterday. Right on the window, we had a 6.1. We also had another 6.1. On the 17th, we have another 6.1, and on the 16th, a 6.2. So we had 4 earthquakes during that specific window. And again, if you go back to it, because you have the link, okay, 6 Capitol police officers suspended, 29 others being investigated for alleged role in riot. And if you look at the keywords, I mentioned police news. A mother of 5 was shot and killed after her kid found a gun in her purse. If that is not dramatic, deadly news, I don't know what it is. Remember, the reptilians will do that. They will stimulate the kids to put up a gun and shoot. Okay, missing teen girl remained found more than 7 years after her disappearance. Secret to light. Cuomo was playing political football with seniors. Secret to light. Cruz traveled to Cancun, Mexico, as millions of Texans remain without power. Secret to light. Famous death. Famous death. Rush Limbaugh died during this window. Okay. And as Cambush people star Billy Brown died, famous death. Daytona 500 crash kill auto racing legend, famous death. If you cannot get the information I have for you, my friend, you need to go to TikTok. All right. So the next window. When is the next window? Okay, today we are the 19th. Okay, so let me give you a little hint there. It'll be let's talk about some earthquakes too. Okay, around the 24th, the beginning and the end of important phases of life, and earthquakes again during that window. You have the date the 24th, but again, show your support, my friend. Become a VIP. Let us guide you on a daily basis, universally. And then personally, let us show you each lunation in every sign, okay? Because the moon changes sign every 2 or 3 days, here affect your mind. You heard of the word lunatic, moody, and crabby. The moon regulates your emotions. You need to know. And once you grab this information, it's going to give you the power to use your will, or the part of God in us. So you understand and you start to speak the language of God. That's why you're here. The numbers are growing everywhere on my LinkedIn page. Facebook, I'm stuck with 5,000. My Cosmic Code website has been completely revamped. We're getting tons and tons of people coming. Of course, YouTube is also doing extraordinarily well. Can wait for the 10,000 mark. That'd be no bad at all to start. I want to thank all of you, okay, for coming back. And most of all, when you get my newsletter, copy and paste the link and put it on your Facebook page, put it in your group, put it anywhere, share it with your friends. Be part of the solution. Help the new age of Aquarius, help this new awareness and all the blessing that the age of Aquarius has for us. Because once the entire human race becomes cosmic conscious, love, respect, happiness, integrity, success, and security will reign supreme upon this world, because we will have kicked the butt of the reptilians. All right, my good friend, I would take this opportunity one more time to thank all of you, and we shall see you again. Bye-bye.